Hi, fellow Webflowers. I am Nico. If you don't know me, I'm the co-founder of BlogItIn, the one and only Webflow partner agency in Munich, Bavaria in Germany. I'm right now here with my fellow friend, Maksym. And Maksym, gonna introduce yourself in a second. And we're gonna record a video about on-demand topics right now, about two big questions: Webflow as a landing page system, and what to do if you have an external database, a previous database that you want to use with Webflow, or you kind of not know how you're going to migrate this database. Does it even work? These are the two topics right now, really on demand. I think it's going to be really valuable to you. Now, Maksym?
So, hi, I'm Maksym, and I'm the founder of The Favorite Design, web design agency working with Webflow as well in Montreal. And I'm happy to jump on a call with Nico because those are like very, very common questions. And I think it will be very powerful content just answering those questions for you.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'd like to start with the Webflow as a landing page system, because in the past we had a lot of clients who actually already used Webflow as a landing page system, and we were getting some leads because of this. Webflow can be used as a landing page system. How can it be used? Can my marketing or design team build landing pages then by themselves? Is this possible? Maksym, is it possible?
Oh, it's definitely possible. In fact, I used already Webflow as a landing page tool, and I love it because it's so flexible and it's extremely easy to integrate, to make changes. I just think it's a great tool for creating landing pages.
Maybe for people who don't really know what we're talking now about, like Webflow landing page system, what do you actually do? Like, what's the value out of this system? How can a client create a page by its own? Like, how is it even possible? Can you explain that?
So basically, they would need to get, of course, in touch with the developer itself, the designer of the landing page, and then we can just once we've designed the whole design for the website, once there is already an identity to the design, and there is already symbols in the Webflow that we created that we can reuse all over the website, then it's extremely easy for us to say, okay, so this landing page is targeting this audience by coming up front with this deal. So let's make another page where we can just clone the same page and just change things around, and it takes like literally seconds. And that's pretty much how it works. If, of course, you know Webflow very well, and you can utilize its strong points, like for example symbols, then it's a time savior.
Maybe for people who don't know symbols, basically symbols can be reused. So you have a component and you create this component, maybe it's a pricing section, and then you create a Webflow symbol for this pricing section, and then you can basically use this pricing section and reuse it over and over again without worrying about making changes to the code or destructing anything on the website.
Yeah, about basically not destroying the layout or
Yeah.
destroying the way the images are, the way the text is, and it's just an extremely easy way to to be flexible with your landing pages. I think it's a great tool for it.
Awesome. All right, so let's switch over to the second topic. And we had a lot of these questions now of our bigger clients that we have. People obviously want to switch to Webflow because they want to be modern. They want to, make a big change, and they have a database. Maybe they're working with WordPress, and then they have used PHP and the MySQL database. Like, that's the pretty common. Right now in Germany, it's pretty common to have a MySQL database. And what to do now? So let's say, and I'm taking the common example, if you had previous e-commerce features on your website, what do you do now? And the answer is actually pretty simple. So if you have, and it's depending on what you want to do with your new website, but if you have content on your previous website, you might notice you can just, like CMS content, you can just export the CMS content from the previous database. In that case, it's the MySQL database. And then you can import this into Webflow. That's pretty simple. But the more complex question that clients ask, what do I do with my customer information? Like a customer who was previously buying from you I don't know, Peter McDonald, I don't know,
Peter
and
Parker buying
yeah,
from
Peter
you.
Parker, and and what does happen with this like what's happening with this person? Okay, so what does happen with Peter Parker? So it's basically pretty simple, because what you can do is you can just use your previous database with the Webflow e-commerce. You don't even have to switch to another database or switch completely to Webflow, because you can just connect the Webflow e-commerce solution via the API or via Zapier with your database. It could be a MySQL database, it could be a Airtable, whatever, Notion. You can just use your external database where all your customers are inside with Webflow. And if a person orders something from your new Webflow website, the order gets into your MySQL database. And that's pretty simple.
It makes sense. It makes absolute sense, and the fact that it's so cool is that it doesn't require us like a ton of just custom development to adapt. For example, oh well, you need to transfer all those databases. It's not going to take a ton of time, of course, depending of your database. Depending, for example, again, it really depends if you're a big company and you have 5,000 plus products. For example, sometimes, for example, Webflow might not be the best for that, just the e-commerce of Webflow. So then, for example, you would need to integrate with another more complex e-commerce system, for example, Shopware, or if Shopify, for example, would work as well.
Yeah, true. But but you don't have to switch your database, and you don't have to completely destroy your past system. Like you don't have to do it at all. Like you can use your previous system also with Webflow. Yeah,
So you don't need to scrap everything you had before. You don't need to just delete it and just move on from
exactly,
zero,
because I think that's like the biggest pain point with customers, because they're thinking, okay, I want to switch to Webflow, but what do I do with my thousands customers in my database? And then they're thinking like, okay, maybe I don't want to switch to Webflow, but that's actually not necessary to destroy the whole data. Like you can use it.
Yeah. And especially again, if like that's what I had a client asking for is that they had already a database and they've been with this database for years, and they had all their clients there, all their products there, and their products are 5,000 plus products. And this is something that, of course, they don't want to lose all the history, they have all the data. So of course it's possible to use another third party CRM that will help you manage the customers, and another software that will help you manage the stock, the inventory, and then connect it all with Webflow. That's absolutely doable as well. You don't need to scrap everything and start from scratch. So this is like a big worry that a lot of business owners have, but thankfully we have answers for those. We have solutions for that, so that we don't need to restart from zero, because it's horrible starting. If everyone would need to start from zero, no one would transition from anything. Everyone would continue using the same platforms, and that's I don't suggest that. If you see a better solution, you just switch.
Absolutely. Well, Maksym, thank you for the talk. I think it was pretty valuable for some person and cleared up some minds about whether it's like a heavy lift to switch to Webflow, or whether it's just just changing the front end basically and getting your site to Webflow, but not the back end to Webflow. I think it was pretty valuable. Thank you for the talk.
Of course. It's a pleasure. If there's like any questions to clear out that you have in mind, like contact Nico or me, and we can with pleasure we'll answer all your questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you need professional help with maybe migrating to Webflow, maybe this conversation cleared up some thoughts and you were already thinking about migrating to Webflow, you can always contact us at contact@blogitin.de and we will get back to you within 2 days. And I think that's the same with Maksym.
Same things. If you need any web design help for redesigning your website when you want to transition into Webflow, then contact the favorite design, and I guess the link is going to be in the description, so you can contact whenever you want.
Absolutely. Well then, Maksym, thank you for your talk. and we see each other in the next video.
I have the power to stop the recording.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yep.
damn.
Stop recording.